Hello everyone. Today I'm going to show you how I would create a transition, like a riser, faller, or some atmospheric texture out of any sample. And it's just the basic sound design process. And I'm going to be doing this in Ableton Live 10. So some of my techniques may be specific to Ableton, but most of it can be achieved in any DAW with a little bit of experimentation. So here's the sample that I'm using. It's just an electric toaster Foley sound. And then here is what I ended up with, or what we're going to end up with, something like this. And I have a start and finish marker here, and this is at 160, and it's 2 bars long. You can make it 1 bar long, you can make it longer, shorter, whatever works for your show. You know, it could be a percussion feature going into a full ensemble hit, or just silence into a full ensemble hit, whatever you want to do. So before I get started, if you don't mind hitting that subscribe button, and we're just going to go ahead and start. I'm going to turn this track off, and we're going to start messing around with this and putting effects on it. So I'm going to just put some attack on this. Okay, I'm going to fade it out. Doesn't really matter, honestly. And then I'm going to go into my audio effects, and I'm going to add some reverb to it, and then maybe a delay before it. And then I'm going to start taking off these filters, increase the size, increase the decay time, turn it all the way wet. And yeah, that should be good. Let's just give this some stuff. Okay, and now let's listen to it. Okay, so that would be good, and you could just bounce that, and then we could do more stuff with it. I'm going to do this thing in Ableton, which is this freeze function on the reverb. And I'm going to hit that, and then I'm going to resample it. So I'm going to add a track. I'm going to go to resampling, arm it, and then I'm going to turn my voice off while we do this. And then I'm just going to hit record, and then I'm going to hit freeze so that it freezes the reverb tail. So it's just kind of this long reverb sound, and you'll see what I'm talking about. Okay, I apologize. I'm sure that's really loud for you. So I'm just going to delete this track, rename this transition 2, and I'm going to get this chunk here, and I'm going to consolidate it so that it's just one sample. It can't be any longer now. I just kind of got rid of all the stuff I clipped off. And now I'm just going to add some effects to it, and we'll talk about what they do. So I'm going to add a reverb. I'm going to add an overdrive, frequency shifter, delay, and an auto filter. And I'm going to put these in some different orders here. Okay, now I'm going to group these so that later if I want to do automation or anything like that with it, I can. And then gonna put some, let's start with one at a time. Okay, so let's start with a reverb. I'm gonna first put a fade on these, and let's listen to it without anything. Okay, so it's kind of unnatural. It's a boring rise and an unnatural release. So I'm going to add some reverb on it to at least give it a more natural release. Okay, so that works. And like I said, it's kind of a boring rise. So I'm going to do some things to it to give it more of like a sweeping effect. So I'm going to go into automation mode, and I'm going to click on the filter frequency, and then I'm going to have it start at nothing or all the way down on the frequency spectrum, and then I'm going to have it go all the way up and then back down. Okay, so that's a little bit more interesting. I'm going to add some delay so it has kind of a tail to it, and maybe a little ping pong effect. Okay, so that's pretty subtle. Hey, no. I'm going to add some overdrive to it to give it a little flavor. Okay, and then I'm going to, sort of like I did with the auto filter, I'm going to do the same thing with a frequency shifter. And you can do a lot of things with a frequency shifter, but I'm going to automate the frequency just a bit. And I mean just a bit. So it gets that kind of whoosh. Cool. So let's listen to the other one that we did, or that I did before, and see how it compares. Okay, so I think it just came down to the frequency shifter. So I'm going to put a little bit more overdrive, and then I'm going to make it a little bit more noticeable. Oh. Okay, so pretty similar. And then I could just freeze this. Flatten. And then consolidate. And, I think on the other one I put maybe like a multi-band compressor on here. Oops. Okay, so that's the sound design process. It's, looking at your audio effects and seeing how you can, first you need to add some sustain. If it's a short sample, you could belch into the microphone and you could put some reverb on that and freeze the reverb, or make it a really long tail and create a riser or faller or some kind of texture by just messing with delay and reverb and frequency shifters and echo and filters and stuff like that to add movement and interest, and make something feel like it's like moving or rising, or give it some excitement. So hopefully that was helpful. Subscribe to our channel. I'm going to be doing stuff like this daily. And, if you have any questions, hit us up through our email or our website. And when you go to our website, sign up for the email, the newsletter, and we'll just be giving updates on new content we do, probably each week or at least monthly. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.